Oh, hello. I had a very tiring week last week. I am still actively looking for jobs. But even though I'm still actively looking for jobs, there is one thing that I do know. I don't want to have a job to stay there for 5 years and to just wait paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't enjoy doing that at all. I enjoy being me, which and I think in the mostly groundbreaking word is really just there are days I'm productive, there are days I'm not productive. I'm not quite sure if there is an everyday flow I should be following of being my productive self when who really is productive every day, like in a year, and I don't want to avoid that, but I want to do a profession that leaves me in the clear to do whatever I want, and I don't want to have to believe that you can only do that if you came from money. I'm not gonna say I don't worry about money. Currently I do worry about money. I would say my biggest worries would be I just moved home and I lost my job. Up until last week, my biggest worries would be if I was gonna be paid. And I got a confirmation. I read the letter again, and yes, I do get paid. But still not enough. I would like some of the money, of the deposit money that I gave back, my old landlord back. And she's telling me that because I didn't give her 1 month notice, I can't ask her for that. She told me that we have to see both sides. To be quite honest, with all the treatment that I have suffered in home, I don't feel like I should be looking at her side. There were often times I would pay rent money to then be often times not being able to use some of the stuff. And yes, of course, some of the months I wasn't even there, but that doesn't matter. It's the matter that even if I was there, I wouldn't be able to use it, and still I would be asked to pay 400 euros. So I think that is the part where it's very disrespectful, it's very demeaning, and quite honestly doesn't really leave a big space of big heart or change of plans of when I do. Besides that, there was also, she said, you can't do that, I'm not gonna pay you. And I told her that we don't really have a contract, so there's nothing she can say to me that she wouldn't be able to do. And because we don't have a contract, there is ways I can get back my money that, if I'm being honest, I don't want to go by those ways because they're vengeful, they're ugly, and quite seriously unnecessary. I would rather just deal with it peacefully and nicely, but still no movement has been shown. So I'm just waiting up until this month ends so I can know what exactly am I gonna send her, and if I do have to be no, I wouldn't say a bad person. I mean, I'm thinking of a bad person, but it's not really what I want to say. I would say more of, I don't want to be a person that's so vengeful and then from now on it's always gonna believe in the power of the people. I'm really just hoping that you'll do the right thing and give me the money back, because a little part of me is refusing to believe that people are so mean that they're just simply gonna make your life difficult for no reason. I also say that I am really having I would say easier way of letting go eventually. I mean, it's easier for me and I get to do it, but I don't know. I just don't want it to be so I don't want to be a bad person. I don't want to be a villain in someone else's story, and it very much bothers me that if he doesn't do it, I'd have to be someone's villain, which I never strive for. But at the same time, I have the full consciousness that yes, everyone will be someone's villain in someone's story. Besides that, I'm having a very hard time into deciding what am I gonna do with my life, like in what work am I gonna do it and how am I gonna do it at all, because I have applied for jobs and every job that I find is not worse. I wouldn't say worse. It's just not what I want to do. I don't want to do that. I want to write my book. I want to bring it out. I want to have it out. And I do not want to be in a stocky job, like 9 to 5, having to answer to something. I want to answer to myself. I want to have a connection with God and something that I believe in, and I want to put it out in the world creatively. But I still come back to the question of, is it going to pay my bills? How is it going to pay my bills? For how long do I think I can stay like this without the notion or worry that I need money? And I'm not quite sure. But for anyways, I did start the book, The Artist's Way. And in some pages of the book, she said that sometimes we have negative blockages that are actually stopping us from being the higher self or the higher creative self that we are supposed to accomplish. And I don't want to do that. I want to be where God can speak through me and I can put it in words or in painting or in dancing, whatever, creatively, and from that I can make money. I'm gonna do this for 12 weeks. I already started kind of self-doubting and being like, I'm not quite sure if this is the right way. Should I be looking for a job? And she does say that if you have some skepticisms, it is resistance and it is blockage just talking through you that you shouldn't do something. Maybe when you shouldn't do something, it's when you should do it the most so that you can have more of the general, I don't know, output up there. Either way, this is what I'm up to. I'll get an update. I have to buy a notebook that I actually like so that I can write my morning pages in it. Yeah, I'll give some more updates along the ways.